Welcome back, folks. Coming back off the holidays. I picked this game up, Battle Brothers, on Steam sale, and, well, I played the shit out of it while I was on vacation. When I wasn't out there chopping trees, laying down some flooring, doing a little demolition. Fun stuff. But, as yet another tactical squad-based-ish game, isometric view, this one's a little different. It's set in medieval Germany, essentially, and you're leading a mercenary company. So your mission is not really just to go out there and kill all the bad guys. Your job is to make money. And you don't do that by just killing every bad guy out there. So, let's start a new campaign. I'm still not great at this. It's a very difficult game, especially in the beginning. I will go ahead and play on the original tutorial, just so you can see what it's like. I recommend buying this game, just to be upfront. It's great, and they're still releasing updates for it, it seems like, so been out a few years. I really enjoy these types of games. Let's do Rebuilding a Company. While I play this, if anybody would like or if anybody comments, I will go ahead and make them one of my battle bros here. Will be Greenbeef's Gaggle. Leave the late game crisis on random. Yeah, let's do this one. I will try it on Veteran. I'll leave the starting funds on high, and I like to play on Iron Man because I hate myself. But yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas/New Year's. I enjoyed most of it. The last battle. It all went wrong. 2 days ago, the company was hired to track down Hogarth the Weasel and his band of raiders, but it was them who found you first. An ambush. Some joke about horses. Cut short by an arrow to the throat. Arrows shooting in from everywhere and nowhere. Men holler and scream, a great volume before death. As the hail subsides, you draw your weapon with the rest of the men, only to collapse to your knees. An arrow has punctured your side. You shout out in pain. A harried glance sees the men charge without you and make a valiant last stand. Met in force as steel clashes with steel. You meet eyes with the captain, a last nod before his throat is cut. You're left in command now of what few men remain. Trembling in pain, you lean on your sword, and with all the will you can muster, slowly rise again. To the end! So this gives you a little bit of the story. And there goes the captain. Got his head chopped off with a meat cleaver. This stuff is scripted right here. You can lose men in the beginning. Take a shot at old Hogarth. Oh, got him good. I don't know that you can kill him early on. He's meant to get away. Alright, we'll hold fast there. Having spearmen is very good in this game. You can set up a spear wall and keep them from getting close. So, put them up front. Set them on number 2 there. Spear wall skill. Alright, well this is unfortunate. I don't think he can get a hack in. There you go. He's got a knife, but he doesn't have enough stamina to do anything with it. Shit, gotta miss. So I really like the kind of tabletop pawn character miniature aspect of this game. Okay, let's see. One big swing. Yeah, he's down. It's quite violent. You will lose people in this, just FYI. The warning in the beginning is true. This game is hard. But this is my mercenary company. As small as it may be. Only 3 men left. Ow. Yeah, chopped his head off. This game is brutal. The aftermath. You're alive. You won. The adrenaline fades, and in its wake, you can't help but sink back to the ground. Gritting your teeth, you snap the arrow's shaft. Your chest heaves, pain for breath. Everything blurs. The company has been devastated, cut down to but a few men. And that bastard Hogarth did justice to his name, fleeing like the weasel he is. What now, Captain? A voice says from behind. It's Gaggle, who sits down beside you, bedding his bloodied axe on his legs. Turn to him in reply, but before you can answer, he continues. Bernard's dead. They slit his throat. He was a good man and a damn good leader, but all it took was one mistake. That makes you the one in charge now, don't it? Eugen the Red joins the two of you, still breathing heavily. Then Ulfert. Save the ceremony and anointments for another day. Let's give the men a good burial and return to Steinhausen to collect our pay. The weasel's men are slain, after all. Besides, Captain, we ought to see that wound before we lose you too. We won't want to leave Eugen the Red in charge, right? So be it. This is what you would call a low-power fantasy setting. There's some magic, but it's mostly brutal shit like orcs, banditos, goblins, undead, all that fun stuff. But you get your strategic map here. This is all procedurally generated, so every campaign is different. Let's move our company. Up here you've got your supplies, money, food, tools and supplies for repairing shit, your ammunition, and your medical supplies. The return to Steinhausen. What a sorry display it must be for the onlookers as you arrive in Steinhausen. 4 bloodied and beaten mercenaries down on their luck. The man who hired the company days ago, Raymond the Counselor, no doubt expected you to return in a more glorious fashion. Still, he welcomes you to his house and offers bread and wine while the servant fetches a healer. Few words are exchanged except for the occasional grunt and wheeze as an elderly man with shaky hands tends to your wound. A pin pierces your skin, and first of many stitches to come. You grit your teeth, till you think you hear one break. Raymond the Counselor sits beside you and asks if you took care of Hogarth. You shake your head. We killed his men, but the weasel eluded our blades in the end. The healer waves around a glowing fire poke, suggesting he wants to push it in your wound. You nod as he does so. For a moment, that's all there is. You're not a man, but a pinch of fire. Flesh from flame, a golem of pain. Raymond the Counselor hands you a goblet of wine. You did well, sellsword. The brigands have been removed, though it is a shame that Hogarth still lives. We expect to get paid for this. Raymond the Counselor gasps. Well, naturally, 400 crowns as agreed upon. He gestures toward a servant who rushes to your side with the pay in hand. I wonder, may I make use of your services one more time? I'd very much like to end the headache that is Hogarth once and for all. And I would pay you again, of course. Another 400 crowns, shall we say? Gaggle scoffs and turns to drink more wine, but Ulfert stands to speak. Yes, the company is in ruin, but we will rebuild it. Without the Greenbeef's Gaggle, Gaggle would drink the crowns away and end up begging on the streets. And Eugen the Red, by the gods, we all know he'd go chasing the womenfolk until one stove in his rotten head. We need the Greenbeef's Gaggle. It's all we have. What say you, Captain? Gaggle burps and raises his cup to you. Gaggle the Red playfully thumbs his nose and nods. Kill that bastard Hogarth or not, it's up to you now, Captain. Yes, we have unfinished business with Hogarth. Raymond the Counselor claps his hands in satisfaction. Excellent. My little birds will need some time to find where Hogarth is hiding now. In the meantime, I suggest you see about stocking up on supplies, so you'll be good and ready to end this when the time comes. I shall see you in a few days' time at the latest. As you leave Raymond the Counselor's house and you stand on the outskirts of Steinhausen, Ulfart seeks a word with you. We need more men, Captain. I know I have a big speech back there, but bravado won't do shite. We need more warm bodies in the ranks. Figure we find 3 good men, buy them some decent weapons, and dress them in the best armor we can afford. The man pauses to glance around. I bet this Bodunk town's got a desperate peasant or two looking for a new life, or we could travel to Lorestead in the east. Them city folk aren't always as hardy as the country bumpkins, but we're more likely to find men with fighting experience stopping to rest there. That's what we shall do. See what Steinhausen has to offer. So each town has this screen. You can see what you've got. A good description of the town. Here you got a taxidermist. That's for shit you find or chop from beasts. And there are beasts. Lots of them. And you can turn it into stuff like make poisons from poison glands. All that fun stuff. But here's the pool to hire men from. Initially, I thought cripples. Why would I want cripples in my party? Well, they're nice and cheap and they can hold a spear. Your spear wall does not need to be the best men you can find. But you can see here, that's their daily wage. Here's what you have to pay up front to hire them. You can try them out for 37 bucks to check all their stats, essentially. But you're going in with just their background. That's all you know. This guy was a beggar. This guy was a day teller, or basically a day worker. Just kind of did anything. You got a miner, so this guy's going to be tougher. But he costs more, right? So I think we'll go find some cheapo dudes in town. We can look at the marketplace. This is where you can stock up on either trade goods if you want to sell shit to make money. And then food, you need that to feed your men. Don't run out of that. Medical supplies so they can heal up. Tools and supplies, you need that to repair your armor or repair shit that you loot so you can sell it for more money. And ammunition. So with ammunition, if you have a sling, it doesn't matter, they just use rocks off the ground. But for bows and crossbows, it takes one of these to replace each one arrow. If you're using thrown weapons like these javelins or throwing axes, that takes 3 of these each time. So keep that stocked so you can stay stocked up. I like to buy weapons weapons and ammo and armor that are degraded in quality because they're cheaper, and then I just fix them up. I don't really know if that's cost effective, but it seems to make sense to me. So we'll buy this thick tunic because you need to outfit your men, and you can check that right here. So he's already got a rugged surcoat, so does he, and so does he. So this will be for the new guys. Right click on these, change the stuff. You get the standard paper doll over here. But looking at their skills, you can see he's really good at melee, or he'll level up that quicker. It's kind of like the passions in RimWorld. See their traits. He's got an iron jaw. Yeah, and you just basically look at these and outfit them accordingly and put them in your line. You can have 12 men at any given time in combat and 20 men total, and put them in reserve. That way you can swap people out between battles, let them rest and recuperate. Well, there ain't shit in this podunk town, so let's get out of here and we'll go to that other town. Old Lorestead. So they'll just go the quickest route, which the road goes up here and around, but we're just going to cut through here. If you hit X on the keyboard, that'll center. There are random encounters out here. Mostly you'll see them on the world. You can find dens and stuff. Enemy bases. You can loot those, raid them if you want. But you don't have a contract for that, so you're not going to get paid along the way. And you get these random events. As Lorestead's skyline appears on the horizon, Eugen the Red, or Eugene, I guess, seeks a word with you. Never been to Lorestead before, but I've been around ones that look a lot like it. Cities like these are great for selling goods, as all these prissy, pompous pricks love to have their goods delivered. With so many merchants, you can find almost everything you need to. Keep an eye out for bargains, and don't get swindled by them cutthroat merchants. Gaggle sees fit to add his own opinion to what you should do. If there's any good tavern, I say that's where we should go first. Nothing helps a man down on his luck more than a good pint. Gods know we earned it. Eugene the Red shakes his head. You say that every time we stop into a town. You say that even when you're already drunk. I'll keep that in mind. I like to reward my men with a round in the tavern any chance I can. So, we got more stuff here. Temple is for healing injuries, or bandaging them up at least. It's not like a free fix right out the gate, but it'll bandage it up so it doesn't get infected, and it'll heal up quicker. Here's your tavern. This is a must. The less men you have, the cheaper it is to buy around, obviously. So let's buy them a drink. They can get drunk too, which then they have a hangover and they suck the next day. So, this guy's only 90. Let's get some cheapo dudes. I guess we'll take these guys because we need men. This guy's a beggar, but whatever, we'll take him. Now there are barbers, so you can get all your men clean shaven if you want to. I think this is all cosmetic. I don't think it really matters. You can go to the fancy weaponsmith and get the fancy weapons, but you can see they're very expensive. It's better to outfit your men at a lower level with cheaper stuff right out the gate, because you're probably going to run through them. You're going to lose dudes. I recommend looting most of your equipment instead of buying the best stuff right out the gate. Now when you get rich, maybe you can do that, but I would recommend just getting the bare essentials going. Let's see what we've got for men. So we got one guy that's good at both ranged and melee, but mostly melee. Good. Another melee guy. And this guy's good at defense, it seems like. Cool. Alright, he's already got a shield. We're going to get our spear wall up and running. So, I can get at least one there. That's way too expensive for me. So you don't need a spearman in every slot. But every other one works because they protect the hex around them. Each one. So we're going to have to go find more spears, it looks like. I don't want to spend too much right out the gate. You want to keep a good amount in the reserves to keep your men outfitted. I do need shields, so let's get some cheapo shields, and we'll just repair them as we go. And let's see what we got. These pitchforks are actually pretty good because they allow you to attack 2 hexes away. So you can put your spear wall, and you can put, well, longer ranged melee guys out there with them. So who's my defense? Alright, you get a shield and a spear. Put you on this side. And we'll get 2 shield bearing. Nope. Okay. I always forget. You actually have to click on them. If you drag a guy, it doesn't automatically select them, so. Alright, we got 6 men. I don't think I want to spend any more on these guys. So we'll get out there. We can take contracts. I've already got one though. I got to return to the other town. The Podunk town. Let's go back to Steinhausen. Yeah, I really enjoy this game because it's a little more, I guess, realistic, and it covers a period, I guess, during the medieval period where you had a lot of mercenary companies come about, which made warfare especially brutal. Unfinished business. Raymond the counselor is pacing back and forth when you find him. The healer who'd damn near killed you with a fire poke is standing nearby. He's picking chunks of dried blood out of his fingernails. Raymond the counselor claps his hands. Finally, you're here. I have good news. We got a hold of one of Hogarth's former men. My good friend here had a nice talk with the man, and now I know where Hogarth's licking his wounds. The healer clears his throat, splaying his fingers out like a maiden looking to paint them. He speaks as though he's identifying a disease he's about to excise. The brigand known as Hogarth is hiding in a small hut on the hills to the southwest of here. Based on my most civil discussion with one of his men, Hogarth knows about Greenbeef's Gaggle is on his heels, and will have gathered more men since the last time you met him. Nodding, Raymond the counselor waves you off. Good luck, sellsword. We'll return with his head. So nighttime, the town's shut down. The taverns are usually open, so you can still get a drink for your men. Where is this guy? So, yep, anything with the coin means you got a contract. These are not quests. These are not missions. These are not any of that shit. You are servicing a contract. This one's personal because it killed some of your men. So you can take those personal, but just remember, you're a mercenary. You're here to make money. Just like the mercenaries of old. Or the private military contractors of today. You can have wavering loyalties. You go where the money's there. Fight for anybody who pays the coin. Let's get after this guy. Hopefully we succeed and don't die right away. Hey look, he's flying the white flag already. Alright, terrain matters. So right now we've got the high ground. And we're going to use that. Our archers do better. So for your archers or any ranged dudes, shields obviously will give them a chance to block it, despite the chance to hit, as you see there. So go for the guys without shields. So this guy just caught a bolt right in the body. We already did damage to him. So he's got an injured shoulder. Those injuries are serious business. They affect your character, and if you don't get them dealt with, they can get worse. And on top of that, there can be permanent injuries. So I'm going to push my spearmen up to the high ground and put them in spear wall mode. That way, if anybody comes into that hex next to them, they will deflect them. And shield up. That's this one. That's shield wall. You can do both spear and shield wall, honestly. It works. And that'll give you both the ability to block hits, and if they get through that hit by that spear by blocking it, you can also block attacks that come in. But spears are great for controlling crowds, and it actually affects how the AI will react. Pretty cool, if you ask me. I like to continue targeting one guy, bring him down, break their morale a little bit. Shit. Alright, we're going to push up a little bit. See if this will demonstrate the spear. Nope. Not yet. Oh, shit. Alright, we're going to fight him. Club him a little. There you go. So there's the spear wall. Great skill. I'm going to shield wall with him. Yeah, see, he blocked there. So that effed up my spear wall. Now we're getting in the fray. Ooh. What did I do? I cut his artery. Oh, good. He'll bleed out quick. Alright, so I am going to go for him and try to take him out. Yeah. So you see these little white flags. That means they're starting to waver a little bit. The further up that flag flies, the greater the chance that they will break. When it's fully flying, that means they're going to break and run. Beating them with a club. Ugh. Cut Achilles tendon. That's not good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and push back and give him some support. As your men become fatigued, they lose some of their... They lose the amount of action points they have. So, I don't know the exact math behind this. I am not a guy like Arumba who does the fucking math. I'm not an arithmetician. See if I can decapitate him. Nope, not yet. Alright, let's break his shield, hopefully. Yeah, suck it. Oh, don't suck it that hard. Alright. Yeah. Almost took him out with one shot. Crossbows are great. They're expensive. And you only get one shot per round. Get one hit there. Yeah, knocked his ass out. Decapitated the fucker. Good. Now there's a chance that this guy is not dead. He might just be knocked out. Incapacitated, if you will. Yeah. Getting the high ground is really good for your archers. It increases their chance to hit significantly. Now we gotta give chase. Come down here and spook him a little bit. Yeah, he hid behind that tree. It provides them a small modicum of cover. Concealment at least. Just gotta give chase. And hopefully he doesn't smoke you. Shit. I can hear he's out of breath. Shit. Alright, we caught up to him. Now, archers cannot shoot point blank. Oh, he bled out. So they have to switch to melee like he did. Crossbowmen, if they've already notched another bolt, they can fire point blank, but they can't reload. Probably tell I've played this quite a bit. just a little. Put like fucking 30 hours in over the 2 weeks I was on vacation. Because that's what happens. Poke him a little bit. Pierce him. Flanking matters in this too. I don't fully understand the mechanics, but we won. Alright, well, old Mr. Hanky here. He's dead. It's kind of like old, I'm sure that's Hank in German, but Mr. Hanky sounds way funner. So these guys dinged. They leveled up. We got some wounds here. Gonna cut Achilles tendon. It's not permanent, thankfully. He's got a cut arm. Also not permanent. His condition's permanent. But you can see all the stuff about your dudes, which is cool. Come over to the loot tab. Look at all this fabulous loot we got here. Oh yeah, got a nice mail shirt. It's good. Oh good, we got some swords, some S-words. It's a pretty good haul. You damage their armor and you don't get it if it's totally destroyed. Hogarth lies dead in a pool of his own blood, skewered into a grotesque and panicked pose. He didn't weasel his way out of this one. You put a boot on his corpse and looked at your men. For the company, for all the men who've fallen. Eugene the Red spits in the dead man's face. Let's take this bastard's head and get back to Steinhausen. Time to get paid. Alright, we gotta go back up to Steinhausen. While we're traveling, I like to take stock of my men. Go ahead and level up Gaggle here. I just go for what they're good at, because I get some more points, I think. as they go. So you get +3 for that one, +2 for that. If they have 3 stars, it's +4. So pretty logical, I think. Something like that. They also get a perk per level. So, it's fast adaptation, crippling strikes, Colossus. You get the idea. You can hover over these if you want. So, for a guy who is more of a melee dude, I like to give them either crippling strikes since he's more of an offensive dude, or fast adaptation. There's probably better builds out there, but that's what I do. Fast adaptation increases the chances to hit on successive attacks. I like crippling strikes for my two-handers. I've read that using any two-handers is basically suicide if you do that early on, but I think it's doable. Archers, I tend to do something like crippling strikes to increase their ability to get crits. He got the killing blow. I like to reward that with armor upgrades early on. Oh, all right, Robbie, you getting some gear. All right, look at that. We'll upgrade him to the Falchion. And you're going to be a spearman now because I need them. I need spearmen. We'll get back to town and go ahead and call this an episode. And we'll see if you guys like it or not along the way. Eugene the Red joins your side. Got a moment, Captain? You nod for him to speak his mind. The battle has left some gear worse for wear, and some men got a good nicking too. We can patch up both man and equipment while marching, but it's a lot faster to set down and do it. Of course, when we make camp, we should be wary of ambushes. A campfire in these parts can be seen from every which way. I'll keep that in mind. I don't want to do camp just yet, but that's up here. You make camp, your dudes do things. I do that when the town's closed up for the night, so my men can rest and recuperate. It's good to do out in the field if you need to, but I've never been ambushed yet, but I've only really played a campaign into like day, I think like 60 or 70. That was uneasy. The return to Steinhausen. The company returns to Steinhausen as victors, their heads held much higher this time. The Greenbeef's Gaggle are not the size that they once were, but they're still a force to be reckoned with, as Hogarth learned in his final moments. You carry his head in a sack that you empty in front of Raymond the counselor's feet. He jumps back, but the healer quickly picks up the head, stares at it, and nods. Raymond the counselor approaches the brigand's bloodied face and eyes it carefully. Yes, that's his ugly mug all right. Servants, pay this man his money. Coin in hand, you raise your voice to the men. As long as there is blood coursing through our veins, as long as we can hold a sword and shield, there shall stand our company. All through the realm, people will know the Greenbeef's Gaggle. The men cheer. Ulfert puts his hand on your shoulder. You did well, Captain. No matter where you lead us, the men will follow you as brothers in battle. You gain 400 crowns. As brothers. Well, with that contract is complete. We got our blood money. Hope you guys enjoy this game. I certainly do. I've put a lot of time into it over the past couple weeks, and I intend to continue playing it. But whether or not it becomes a series, we'll see. Phoenix Point, I may pick it up again, but honestly, not many people watch those videos, so yeah, we'll see. Xenonauts 2 will continue when I get another big update that comes out. And then we'll give it another shot. I may just wait for the next patch and play another campaign because people seem to really like the Xenonauts content. But we'll continue RimWorld as well. Thanks for joining me. And again, I hope you enjoyed your New Year's. And again, if you have any problems with depression or you think you want to hurt yourself or others, don't. The saying is that's a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and that can be fixed. Fucking reach out to me if you have to, but there are other resources, as I've said before. Take care of yourself and your others, take care of yourself and others. Take it easy.